Alright, this is going to be my attempt to commentate over the 48 solo that I did. This is going to take a while, like a really long time. But here goes. So, as soon as I load in, you can see on Dervhill over here, Dervlord should spawn like right here. But if I move during the loading screen at just the right time, then I don't spawn him. And if I slowly keep doing that, you'll see all these other enemies spawn, but the Dervlord himself never spawned. So that means he's not triggered, and that allows for a much more consistent Dervhill later on in the run. And also, I have a hotkey, not in this run, I don't think I was using it, but I now have a hotkey to move to the NPC here to make sure I don't trigger the Dervlord right away. But first thing I do is take the quest, auto path over here. And my goal here is to get these two souls on me. So I cast SF, I cast my Dwarven and Whirling, and then I make sure that these are an aggro of me. I finish casting my enchants, and I walk sideways. That way they have more of a chance to settle on me quicker. So these two soul tormentors, including the water, have a chance to spawn with a weapon. And if that is a staff and not a wand, then they will be longbow range, which means they will not be able to follow me all the way towards cave. Because the goal here is to have these two extra souls along with the rest of cave with me at the start of cave whenever I trigger the quest to have more souls to start duplicating with. So luckily I did get these two. And also I'm paying attention to how many reps I have. So as you can see, out of the 16 mobs here, there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 reps. 2 of those are sanities. Sanities are bad because I will pop a stone inside a cave here, and the sanities will get adrenaline from that, and they can daze me almost instantly. So as you can see, I got 3 souls. I got 4 waters. 4 waters is nice as well. And I have 3 mines. And also that last sanity there, I forgot to mention that one. So the goal here is to get all the souls with me, sidestep in the cave. I pop only a red and blue rock just in case I get crippled. I can still run forward. But what I do here is I sidestep. I make sure right around here, I have a long enough SF and I'm not crippled to where I can run to this and have the stone that I'm gonna pop block everything right here. And also, I need to make sure I'm sidestepping so these souls in the back do not break. So I pop it, I run, and I trigger the quest right away. I get a recall off, and I go back, cast SF, whirling, all that, and I start duping 2 souls right away. So all throughout cave, my goal is to get at least 5 to 6 souls under half health the entire time. So the flushes are coming in right now, and I already have 3 souls duping, which is really good. Now, here I'm trying to separate these souls off of the mine that's over here, just so I don't have to deal with it, but I don't have too great of luck. So I damaged that 1 soul under half health. I walk to the other side, I get the other soul under half health, and I need to make sure I kill the mind that is under half health, because tormentors only duplicate 1 at a time, and if that mind is under half health, then it can prevent another soul from duping. Also, since those 2 reps are right there together, I went ahead and just started killing them, especially that sanity, because it could have a lot of adrenaline. And here, I'm kind of stuck because I can't really walk around these areas. I'll damage those souls, and then that'll be bad later on because then I have to wait for the souls to regen before I run a rift. but eventually they die and I move out of the way, I'm pretty sure. Also, I'm keeping really good track of which mobs I need to kill and which I don't. As you can see here, all the stuff that's on the right are the things I do not need to kill, while everything on the left is stuff I don't need to kill. And also, the Earth Tormentors, I stood still while casting them, or while killing them, while I also had all these extra mobs on me that could run me. And that's so I have more aggro, I'm under half health, and I can deal with the Earths quicker. Because the Earths are a huge pain in the ass. So here I'm just killing everything like normal. There's 3 mines, 3 spirits, 3 waters I need to kill. So I killed all those. Now the second Earth group comes in. Make sure to cover my enchants. I tried to damage some more souls because the ones I initially damaged probably healed above 50% now. And now I'm just killing the sandies that I had on me for a pretty long time. And my goal now is to kill the last of the Rups and this Earth that is on me. There I did drop SF for a split second, but I did not get anything casted on me. So I was lucky to not get rupted. And the 4 group is on me. I pulled everything backwards, tried to make a nice little ball, but it doesn't really go well. And here I'm just whirling the last of everything. There are 4 hearts in total on the last wave I need to kill. But usually there's 5 because of the second Earth group. So here, everything's dead. I instantly recall out. I take the quest, and then I'm going to start looking at all these enemies up here. I'm going to see how much health the Soul Tormentors have. Also, I recall the Ghostly Priest so I can have more damage reduction. But I'm checking all these souls' health to make sure they're about under half health when I aggro them. That way, as you can see, this one is duping, but by the time it finishes duping, it's going to be above half health but when it settles on me. So that way I don't have to wait like any time at all in order to start going towards Rift. So here I have a staff out, I'm sidestepping so I'm not outrunning the souls, and I'm just trying to get as much aggro as I can. The closer you are to their spawn point, the quicker they settle, and also when you have a staff out, they settle a lot quicker as well. And also, after the cave was finished, I popped a green rock so I can outrun spirits. And that's very important when I'm trying to run to Rift and run back from Rift, because if I run at full speed and I cast SF, I can avoid Rups from spirits. So here, this patrol timing, I moved the screen. This patrol timing right here is really important. So I need to aggro it before it hits this point right here. And that is important later on because of the way I do darkness. If I aggro it here and the rest of gloom goes perfectly, by the time I do darkness, this patrol will have gone all the way over to this point. And that will be useful for extra aggro during darkness. And also here you can see the pink thing that is an Earth. So the less Earths there, the better. It makes Rift a whole lot easier. I don't have to deal with things taking 0 damage while standing on top of Rift with me. But here's pretty straightforward. I run in, aggro as much as I can. I YOLO cast SF, and I needed to get that one Tormentor on Rift off of it. So I always have to kind of pull like this way, and I also have to get this group because there's a bunch of souls there, and that's really useful. So here, you can kill the claw without triggering the fleshes, which is really useful, and you'll see here why in a second. So I kill the claw, then I trigger fleshes, and then I start capping Rift. Because after you trigger the fleshes, there's a certain amount of time you have before the Earth spawn. And here I'm just moving around, making sure stuff doesn't run on a rift. A flash runs on, and it's fine. But you'll see, if the rifting is not halfway capped by the time these earths spawn, then I have to move off a rift, which is really bad because that's a huge time loss. So here, I swap to a staff, and I'm auto-pathing via the toolbox minimap the whole way. So the mines that were part of this group, if they didn't spawn with like a weapon or anything, they could follow me the whole time if I path correctly. And also I get to have the half spell recharge of SF, and that is very nice for pathing through here. Let's see. So here I don't cast Shroud. I'm pretty sure I don't. Here I auto-target that NPC and I auto-path to him. Auto-pathing here is really important because it's a super consistent way for me to not break souls. And also, as I mentioned at the start of the run, if I trigger Dervlord, then he would be over here while I'm taking the quest. And as soon as I run back, like towards where darkness would be, then Dervlord's stuck here. He's not going to move from there once I get the veil. And that is like the worst possible condition for Derv to be in. And that's also why I have dialogues. In case he is triggered right there, I can instantly take and then instantly run away and hope he does not move any further towards gloom. So here I have to take kind of wide lines, and I have to kind of stutter step by like casting Dwarven when running through there, just so the souls all the way in the back don't break off of me. And now for this group, excuse me, this line is the path that the NPC takes. You know, the one from the start of Gloom, that's the one he takes to go to that little eye pillar that's at the end of the line. You'll see in a second. And the group's on top of it. So I need to aggro it, and I need to break it. And they break to a speed boost, so they 1-dot. And even if it's a 1-dot on top of the line, the NPC can walk around. And you can see at the end of the path here, that's where he would be. Now, you can see the patrol timing here. This is good. And you'll see why here in a second. So if Deathbringer goes well, then this group will... Ideally, it would be running backwards that way. And then by the time I come back, it'll be basically right over here. And I'm pretty sure I had good timing this run. I can't remember. But ideally, I would have mines from that group follow me whenever I leave Rift. And that is why I had a staff out. Because mines, for some reason, follow you a lot more likely when you have a staff out. And this is a really good Deathbringer as well. So here, you can see I'm strafing left and right a little bit. That's just because the elevation makes it to where the souls could break to distance, and it's kind of annoying. And you can see this is good patrol timing. So I was right. So this timing is perfect. So I can pull darkness, get aggro of this group, and I have aggro of these other souls from earlier, and I basically have all of the rift aggro on me. And the goal here is to 1-dot darkness and stand on him when the second wave spawns. But I messed it up. So 3 of them spawn outside of the 1-dot range. So it wasn't the cleanest darkness. But as you can see, the earths from the 2 darknesses spawned. And all of them instantly died. Because it takes them a second to even cast Armor of Sanctity. And you need around like 40 mobs under half health with Shroud and Whirling to kill them. Little slow Gloom, but 925 with 30 souls is pretty acceptable. Okay, so here I I was talking to Will on TeamSpeak or something, and I was gonna hop on TeamSpeak. Blah blah blah. No more PMing him. So I swapped my Earth set, and I quit my staff, pop alcohol, and I pop my kebab and soup. Now, my SF timing here is pretty bad. When I get to this part of the hill, I need to have like SF freshly recharged, or I need to be able to. I basically need to run straight through here without stopping at all in order to not break any souls. And then there you can see I sort of stop at the NPC before moving, just so the ones in the back could catch up a bit. Now, Foundry. The goal for first room is cast Whirling and QZ, run on top of them when the tuck runs in, and hopefully get SF and QZ. So I roll everything, and also this pink mob over here, that is a key. That is bad, but so what this patrol does is this patrol will be in the way over here on the map whenever I'm taking snakes, and that's a pain in the ass to deal with. And if I trigger them in this room, then I can't pull them all the way in the fifth room in one ball. But I managed to deal with it in a different way, as you'll see later. So here, I'm just, anytime I'm standing still, I'm casting enchants because I need damage reduction. And there, I was too quick to run away, so the rage decided to break. And here, using straight lines, and you kind of have to go at an angle, like a line sort of like that, just because the terrain goes slightly downhill before entering this room. And if you go in a straight line and then near the end you kind of turn, then the terrain difference, whenever the souls auto attack, at the moment they're like going to the lower terrain, if you turn at that moment, then they should be able to get into the room. But I just stuttered at the rock for some reason and screwed it up. So I broke like 10 souls. But that's alright. I have 20 souls, and I had a good first spawn. So this first spawn, you can always speed boost the Morganites, and they are almost always in between the two terror webs to where you can whirl all 5 mobs at once. Okay, so here, there's a lot of things you can do. The goal, obviously, is to get everything dead at once, but I don't have enough souls to kill the Dreamies on spawn without them running away, and I can't kill all 3 torture webs without balling them. So, what I do is I kill these first 2, and one of these is going to run away, or not run away. One of these is going to auto attack me, and based on which one auto attacks me, will determine whether I go in between these 2 or stand on these 2. So you can see this one auto attacked me, and I ran to the side of the torture web so that the Dreamy was more towards the gate of third room. And as I'm standing there again, I'm casting enchants and everything, and I'm making sure my whirling timing also runs out to where I'm not whirling any of these titans whenever I enter the room. So here, the goal is to get the Dreamy right while blocked and kill all the titans in one swing. That's kind of hard to do because the anguishes take a while to settle. But usually once I see everything's on me, I whirl, I cast enchants. And as you noticed, there's one rage on me on this side. He's going to scatter in a second, and I'm going to pay attention to him because he will not settle on me in a second. So I have him targeted, and he's way in the back. But I auto-attack him, and he runs in and he dies, which is good. And my SF timing is great, so I I got stuck, of course. And now the goal for entering this room is I want to have souls in a line like this, and I want to start moving and like don't stop moving until I get into this room, like at this point. So I'll go here, I'll press my movement macro, I get to the next spot, I press it right away, and then when I get to the wall, I turn my camera, and then I just run against it, and I look behind me, and I count how many souls I have. So 9 souls. That's a good number. Anywhere. So let me explain something. Anything above 10 souls is okay. So it takes 10 minutes, or you can do 10 souls in a minute, right? And we want all the original souls that we brought in here to dupe at least once. So if we have too many, then say we brought 40 in here, that means we need to wait at least 4 minutes for all the original souls to dupe at least once. That way we don't mess up our 5th room, and we don't have souls everywhere when we're taking snakes, and I'll explain that later. So anywhere between 5 and 10 is a good number, and you'll see why. And I also have a water on me, which is perfect because I triggered that one Marganite group during 1st room, and the water will not duplicate. So we'll basically use them as bait for the Marganite to come and heal him. Now, here's the tricky thing. This first soul that duplicated, he's going to keep on duplicating if he has a chance because of how duplication works. So it goes by the lowest agent ID, and almost always the first 3 or 4 souls that dupe, as long as you have aggro of them, they're going to keep duping, even though you might have 20 other souls under half health over here. So I try to take advantage of that and try to keep everything on the wall and aggro of me and still duping. And as you can see, this one duped again right away after only 3 souls duped in total. So the goal here is probably to get like a good 4 of them on the wall, get them under half health, and then just slowly whirl the first wave of mobs. And I want them to also be kind of spread out, but not too spread out against the wall, because anything in this circle over here, that's going to be in range of where the snakes have to run through. So here, I'm just constantly bowing them, making sure I have aggro, and making sure they have that chance to duplicate. I damage them a little bit, so they're still under half health and not regenning. And I'm just right while blocking them here. Okay, so now here, since I had 9 souls entering, and I have 22 souls now, that means, let's see, I had 9 entering, and there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 souls on the wall right now. That means there's 4 more that still need to duplicate. So I need to kind of spread out and not get aggro of these things on the wall. But I also need to keep them under half health, so when I do have aggro of them, they duplicate. Because there is a way to be, there is a setup to where you can have both the things on the wall and the things on top of you that are attacking you duplicate at the same time. And that's kind of done just by separating the two by a huge distance, but I can't really do that in this situation here, so... And also, this last wave spawn was really good. So I just killed everything I could on spawn, and I do another swing around, and I try to damage all the souls on the wall one more time before leaving. And then I kill the Dreamy, and I book it. And I make sure, I'm pretty sure I look behind me. Yeah, I made sure nothing was under half health on me. And here I need to be on a shield set. Because for some reason, if I have a water on me and I'm killing these glitch things on the wall with the staff out after 4th room is done, then the water that's on me will duplicate. And that's not fun. Okay, so here, I'm just re-aggroing everything, and I want to damage these things on the wall one last time, but some of them re-aggro me, so I have to kill the things that re-aggro me. And as you can see, that one right there did re-aggro me, and it's kind of in a tough position. And also, there's one soul that was full health that re-aggroed me, but I have a tactic to deal with that in 5th room. Okay. So I wait for this one to duplicate. I book it. I go to tech list. I take him right away. And as you can see, this Marganite Patrol would not be here if I didn't trigger it while in 1st room. This Marganite Patrol would have been way up here. So here's the fun part. So I grab this group, this Marganite group. But first I gotta bow these Titans. I'm gonna target this key so I know where it is easily. I need to grab this group before it settles on its patrol point. I need to trigger it. Let me go back a few seconds. There is a very specific patrol I need to trigger while grabbing it. So you can see this torture web right here. I need to trigger that. Otherwise, these snake tactics won't work. If I don't trigger that, then I'm screwed. And I also need to not run too far ahead up here while aggroing these 2 groups, because then the key that's on me, man, I need to quit shaking the screen. If I run too far up this way, then the key that is following me, that is healing the water on me, will eventually break just because of distance. And then this whole group will be broken. But luckily, the key is still on me, and once I stand still, then the rest of this Marganite group is going to follow me. So I aggro this last Marganite group, and I make sure to go to this side of the chain, because you can see the chain kind of right here. I made sure to go to the right of it, so the Dream Riders have a more clear path, if that makes sense, to right wall blocking at me. But I kind of messed up the pathing, so there's Dreamies that are not going to be killed. The goal here is just to kill as many Dreamies as I can. I need to kill all the Titans and then the Marganite keys that are on me. Now, the Dreamies, they're not all going to die, so I start by killing this group first, usually because they're a nice ball. And also, sometimes the Dreamies will run up to the rock next to it, and I can kill it easily. And then I kill these Marganites because they're a nice ball as well. I leave the Rund alive because a Rund's not really going to do much harm to my snakes when I'm running through. And here, I'm just killing as much as I can. And I'm also on a timer. So this Marganite Patrol, I need to aggro it before it starts patrolling, like before it settles here and before it starts patrolling. So I notice there's just a Tuck alive, and the Tuck is really annoying to deal with during snakes, so I kill it and I run. So the only things I left alive were 2 keys, a Dream Rider, and a run from this group. And they can all break to a speed boost, which is fine. So here, I aggro the Margos, I sidestep, I try to whirl everything at once, but the run never pulled in, which is fine. And then that key runs in, I think, or no, it doesn't. That's fine. Keys aren't really harmful. Here I, recall a snake, and I try to run towards Black Beast a little bit, just so I can trigger a Titan group, which would be over there, but I didn't go close enough, because sometimes that group would be in the way during Black Beast, and it's really annoying. So here I need to pull my souls to a specific spot. So I broke them here. And what souls do is when you break them, they are going to run to their spawn point. If they can't see their spawn point, they're going to run in a straight line towards their spawn point. So any of the souls that I had from Gloom, or the waters that I had from Gloom, they're going to run towards Gloom. But they can't see a valid path. So what they're going to end up doing is going in a straight line. And what that means is, with where I place them, they're going to block on these two things. If they're from Rift, they're going to block here. If they're from Cave, they're going to block here. If they're from the NPCs near the start, they're going to block here. So it's just, I have to break them at a specific point always. Also, the ones from 4th room will run towards 4th room, but they can't see the spawn point. Like, they can't see a valid path yet. So they are just running in a straight line. But once they get past this line here, that's when they can start running all the way into 4th room. But since I take Captain and I run out of compass range, they aren't moving anymore. So I need to steer clear of that. Okay, now here, this is really risky. I had a key on me. I had the Dreamy on me still, but the Dreamy breaks here in a second. He will break. Yep, see, the Dreamy broke. Now, okay, so here I need to wait for Captain to get full HP, and he needs to not be hexed. He needs to be somewhat full HP, and this is close enough. Now, the moment I take Captain or General, I need to recall out instantly, because you can see right now he's taken, he's in the party, and there's no enemies that spawned. So I can take him, recall out, and the enemies will have like sort of a delay before they can even realize that they have aggro. But they are more likely to target Captain because he's lower HP, so they're going to target him first, and then eventually General's going to get targeted as well. But I got a good spawn, and I got a good Tengu, so even if they get hexed, we'll be fine. Now, the thing is, if they get hexed and diseased, then it's a resign. Because if they get diseased, then I have to wait so long before I can even run to glitch the snakes. But luckily, they only got hexed here. And I got a monk. So this is a little bit of a time loss. It's not perfect snakes, but it's alright. So I let them heal. I let General get rid of the hex. And I let Captain get a little more HP. Well, actually, I didn't wait for General's hex to go away. I think it was because he was regenning already. And as you can see, there are no souls or waters in the way because of where I broke them before I took Captain. And also, these snakes are really lucky. If General got crippled again when I was running through this, or the dementia settled on him, it would have been GG. So here, this is where that circle comes in handy. Any of the glitch things on the wall will cast on the snakes, but any of them that are like duped ones, they'll break to a speed boost, but they'll still cast a hex. But if General or Captain or Silzash or any of them, if they're diseased or hexed already, then they're going to get destroyed just by like one soul running through. Because you can see they lose about 1% of their health when running through. And if they get degened with a parasitic bond or faint-heartedness, then it goes down by like 2% every time they move. So here, Black Beast is up next. I get a fresh SF. I use a staff. I recall out. I make sure to use the staff so I get a half spell recharge just in case. And I need to book it and aggro all of these as quick as possible. So here I try to cast SF. Okay, what am I doing here? Okay, yeah, I cast SF. I did not get half cell recharge, and then I just start running. Because ideally, if I time this right, I would not have to time my SF at all when running in a Black Beast. But here, I think I played it a little bit safe, and I just got a fresh SF. Whereas if I played it correctly, I could have just ran straight in without delaying this extra 5-10 seconds here. And this is extremely risky too. So, a couple of things can happen at Black Beast. It's completely RNG, whether he glitches or not, which is great. That's fantastic. But you can, if he touches you, you can time your SF to avoid dying to that. But it's Fingers of Chaos here. That's the big issue. Fingers of Chaos can one-shot you. It's done 600 damage to me in one hit before easily. So I'm preying on RNG here, and I cannot use a seal here. I need it for Veil. And also, these Titans, since I was quick enough to start Black Beast, these Titans, I didn't have aggro of them when doing Black Beast. So that means I would not get stuck when running out. Because as you can see, there's a bunch of dementias and all these other things on top of me. So as soon as that's dead, I can instantly run. I'm not body blocked by anything. I'm good to go. Now here, again, I kind of have to go wide with my pathing. Because there's a bunch of elevation here. And if I just were to go in a straight line like that and cut the walls, then my souls would break. And that's always fun and dandy. So here, I'm casting on a staff just to get SF recharge, half spell recharge, whatever you want to call it. And here, since I didn't aggro those souls, whenever I was running to Black Beast, I had to sidestep there and let them settle on me. Now here, I did get good SF timing, so I recast SF, or I recall him, recast SF, recall out, instantly take, and go back. So it takes about 1:20 from Fury take until Fury's finished. So we're looking at like a 24:30 pace right now. Now here, I'm again on a staff near their spawn point, and I'm recalling a mini pet for the damage reduction for Veil. And again, the staff and the spawn point and standing near their spawn point basically allows them to settle a lot quicker. And now I'm on my way to Fury. I still cast SF on a staff for some reason. I don't really remember why. I think it's just habit at that point. And as you can see, Fury is that one white dot. The goal here is to right wall block the three Guardians of Kamali. They all run in. The third one's kind of slow, but that's common. And I had a really good Fury spawn. So I kill the keys that are on me. That one I was a little slow to hit. And then I run on top of this. And there was 3 Guardians and the Fury left. And that's it. And my SF timing was perfect. So here, I need to align my souls in a direct line through here, and I need to not cast SF in the middle of that. Basically, I never want to cast SF when my souls are in the middle of a gate or when I'm going up or down the hill. And there, I had souls that were way too far in the back, and I did not path correctly, and they broke on the middle of the gate there, basically. The middle points of the gate are really bizarre, and souls love to break on them. So when possible, you try to go to the thirds of the gate, like the first third or the second third of the gate. So here I wait for this to collapse. I grab the quest, and then I run straight forward. I need to run straight forward without moving, so these souls don't break. And here I get, I need to not get bad aggro on this. So I wait for them to collapse. I aggro them, and then I sidewalk all the way up here. And I need to aggro these when they're balled like that. And also, I trigger this group whenever I do this tactic as well. So I am killing the 2 casters up here. I am balling all of this, and I trigger this patrol as well as everything else over here simultaneously at once. So I killed the 2 Sioux. I pull, I make sure the 2 runs are off of my souls. I kill all those, and then I just, sidestep and kill the Morganites as best I can. So if there were a key in the ball still, I would run and speed boost to break it, but there wasn't, so I'm onto the wall. Now, this Sioux is, I can't whirl him where he was standing, so I need to pull him. So I actually have to physically pull him off the wall. And there's a fine line between pulling the Sioux, that tiny step, and then breaking him. So I have to, quickly go left, right, left, right, left, right. Make sure not to break him. And here, conveniently, everything kind of patrols into you when you're whirling the wall. And I make sure not to kill this last Sioux on the wall right here. And I also make sure I need to bow this group over here. So I bow that, get SF up, and I'm just whirling things on the wall. And I think I bow this group, I can't remember. But yeah, I do bow them. No, I don't actually, okay. But basically, I kill everything but the last 2 things on the wall and this thing. Because if I were to pull any further, then the groups from over here would start breaking. So I basically have to do a little loop and walk all the way around, side pull them, and then kind of do what I did with the first ball. And, separate the runs from the Sioux, whirl the runs first, because, they can wild throw me, and that's really annoying when they do. And, whirl the casters. The tucks aren't that big of a deal. Usually I like to keep them alive a little bit just for QZ in case they use it. And then here, I kill the last 2 things on the left side. And let's see if you can see it. I'm pretty sure I trigger a group on... Where is it? I could trigger a group that is over on this side, but I don't think I did on this run. But the timing of this patrol is really crucial for what I'm going to do on the inside. So this group is going to run this way, and then it's going to start running towards the center again after I open the wall. So I kill the Sioux, I walk inside, and I make sure to not trigger this group. I'm pretty sure I didn't. I partly triggered the group, but that's the tuck group. That's the group that is part of this group that'll run on top of the snakes, which is fine. But I did not trigger the group that is past it, which the MT would grab in a casual. It would be the group that's further this way. So here, I'm standing here, I'm bowing everything here, and I'm waiting for this group to ball up and patrol up to me. During that time, I am whirling the melees on me, and as you can see, if you go back a few seconds, this key or ruck, I think it's a key, it runs towards me to heal the Margos on me, and I get aggro of that group, and I pull the tucks further down without having to do anything. So I bowed that group once it came up, and then I triggered this group finally. And I also triggered the second group there. I bow this group, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to pull it all the way up here, And since I had aggro of these tucks from the key from earlier, they're way further down. So that means I don't have to pull this whole mess of Morganites as far up as usual. And that means I don't stay in range of, I think it's this group, as long. So I don't trigger it again. I'm pretty sure that is what happened. Yeah, so they're going to run out of my range, and then for that short amount of time, I'm not triggering them again. But this group is still triggered. So that group will run back over there, and then we will have nice patrol timings here in a moment. So the pathing through here is real fun. I have to run all the way kind of against the wall here. And I also have to kind of turn to go this way. But this is downhill, and this is a corner, and souls break there a lot. And I got really lucky here not to break anything. And this group, it's always nice to grab when they're patrolling to me or when they're balling up. So here, this is like perfect patrol timing almost. So I got both the groups on top of each other, and I try to speedball them. So I ended up getting the tuck, a key of 2 Vus and a Sue on them. And here I start stacking my enchants. So right now I have 1 set of enchants stacked, and I have a key and 2 mobs left to kill. So that is a 30-minute city done. That is 47 pace technically. So right now I have 1 SF rotation up. Now I cast my second rotation. I cast Shroud on a staff to get half-star recharge. I pull my souls a bit further so that way they don't clip the gate. And I get LB Sig off. And same thing with the souls going outside the gate. I need to make sure I don't cut corners too hard. So here I get my last SF rotation. So this is the 3rd one. And I have 2 Shrouds up. So I'm good to go into Veil. And I make sure to get LB Sig off in QZ, which is really crucial. And I need to cast Shroud in QZ here, but not while the souls are on the gate. If I were to cast Shroud while the souls are on the gate there, then half them would have broken. So there I casted LB Sig thinking I was close enough. And now here was my blunder. As you can see, I casted my first spell out of QZ. So I'll watch it again. My first enchant, I thought I was going to be in QZ, but I didn't cast it in QZ. So that messed up my normal rotation for my timings for 360. So I walked back, I casted the last 2 in QZ, hoping that the first one actually was in QZ, but it wasn't. So I got screwed there. So now I have to take the quest right away, whereas before I could cast all my enchants and then take the quest, but now I'm forced to cast SF in a really bad position with the shadows on me, which can follow me, by the way, and heal my souls and never break off me, which is fantastic. And I was going downhill. So here, I duped like 3 or 4 souls maybe. And basically, with my SF timing, I had no chance. I had no spare time to dupe. So as soon as my enchants got up, I went for the hungers. And also, if any soul breaks right there, then I can't glitch the hungers. So I have to take like really, really precise movement here to not break any of my souls. So here I cast Whirling, I swapped my high HP, and then I, recast everything. And now souls are always going to glitch there, which is fine. But I need to have souls that I can duplicate that spawned in Veil. So this whole time I need to basically just stay in this corner, wait for stuff to run past, and then dupe while I'm waiting for aggro to run past to the NPCs. But I got unlucky, and then I killed like half the souls that were duping. So here I try to just get a bit more aggro because I need like 35 souls ish to kill 5 hungers, and I had 36, but there's like 4 of them glitched on the wall, so that's always nice and fun. And I had my SF timing off, so I can't like swap the high HP armor while casting SF, the lag and everything. And now for the fun part. I have 37 souls. 4 of them are glitched on the wall. Luckily, this wave is not a hunger wave, and I had to aggro these golems early. Let's see. So here I kill all the fiends. They're in a nice ball, which is really good. I cast SF on, or I cast Shroud on a staff, and then here is my fatal mistake that would ruin 360 later on. There are gonna be corpses in the way after this wave. So on hungers leave corpses. You might not see it on the map, but hungers do leave corpses. And you can get corpse aggro and chain aggro. So I have to, see, I got corpse aggro on accident. I have hungers on me. I'm stuck basically, and I need to kill the fiends quick. But I just killed all the melees, and I have the fiends alive still. So now my hill timing is completely off. All my patrols are coming in at a weird time. My movement there was horrible. And now I have souls duping right here, which is horrible. So they can potentially get in the way of the glitch spot, or I could potentially get chain aggro of a group of the hungers and not get all of the hungers at once. And you'll see why these corpses matter in a second. So here I go. Oops, I get corpse aggro. I can't run all the way up and get the last group. So now I'm stuck with a scuffed 5th wave, and I have to deal with it. So I somehow managed to survive this. I don't have enough HP to tank these hungers, but I have 55 souls, and I'm on my high HP set, and I'm hoping my regen is enough to where I can outlive it. And thankfully it is. If that last hunger got its attack off on me, I would have died. And now I don't have enough souls to tank last wave. That's the bad thing. So I can only face tank last wave if I have 70 hungers or 70 souls on me, and I double stack my enchants on the last wave. So my only choice here is to get chain aggro and try to dupe more. So I'm gonna try to use those corpses that are left, get chain aggro of 2 of the groups, or even just 1, and then kill them separately. So this is where all the time loss was in Vale. And also notice how the hungers run away because I pulled them too far. Okay. So now I have like 60-something souls on me. I get a fresh set of enchants, and I kill the last group. And here it's important that I have good shroud timing for Ranger Hill, and you'll see why in a second. I got a lucky spawn on Ranger Hill because I want to have a fresh enchant rotation to where I can grab everything and then pull it to the glitch spot. And I did get a good enchant timing, but my shroud timing was sort of off. But that's fine, I can delay it a little bit. So here I get 5 hungers, there's 6 or 7, and there's 8, and there's 9. So I grabbed 9 out of the 10 hungers. Or I think 10 of the 11. There might have been one on top of the other. So this is a good Ranger Lord spawn. The goal here is to grab everything and pull them to the left. So I trigger this patrol. And I try to aggro some of these melees so I can get a bit closer. But I also had a watch for this fiend for chain aggro. So here, I just get a fresh SF. I aggro everything. You have to physically aggro the Lord, by the way. You can't get chain aggro of him. Luckily, I broke a water and not a fiend. That would have been bad. And the Lord is dead at 39. So, technically, the Lord could have been dead at 38. Like a low 38 if 360 wasn't bad. But yeah, the run's looking good. And it's all on Durville now. Now here, I should swap to a staff soon. Yep, I do. I always swap to a staff for my shroud timing, and also I need to have the souls resettle on me. And I broke a bunch here on accident. And I get a fresh SF rotation, and since I did not trigger Durvlord at the start, the quest marker will show where Durvlord is. And he will not move at all. So I can safely kill the first two groups without triggering Durvlord. And as you can see in this top left corner here, that's where he is right now. And then once I run in range of him, he's triggered. And he's right there. So I need to kill these fiends. And I need to somehow avoid all of these hungers. A third trench or a third pop here. And I need to not get aggro of these fiends. And this is a perfect Durvlord, basically. This is why I have to load in and run at a perfect time at the start every single time. Okay, so Durv's dead. That was probably the most RNG heavy part of the run. I still have a Peace Stone available. I have 67 souls. That's a really good amount. And now all I need to do is finish the run. It takes usually around 8 minutes after Durv is dead to finish the run. And he was dead at like a mid 40. So we're looking good. Now I did break souls going down, which is fine. I have 60 on me. So here, you kind of have to take a weird wide path again. You have to line the souls up in the middle of the gate. Make sure you don't cast with the souls in the middle again. And you run straight down. And the reason I pulled to the left here, by the way, is because these fiends I can get aggro of, and they can hit me from down here, and I can get screwed. So that's always very fun. Necrolord was a weird spawn. I will give it that. Usually I want him off of the mobs so that he doesn't cast Soul Feast, which he almost did. And here in that Hunger Patrol, this was really risky of me, by the way, because I didn't have a lot of souls. There's like 6 hungers. I need to recast Whirl, recast my other enchants, but luckily I swapped my armor in just the right amount of time. And there's one fiend in that group. So here what I will do is, wait for my enchants. I need to wait for my health to regen as well, because there's a hunger in that group. And I go aggro the fiend, staying on it, the usual. And then I was playing risky, and I had enough time to kill these 2 reps on me without casting anything. And I still had an earth on me, I think. Actually, I didn't. Okay, now the fun part. Pathing to Elder Lord. So here, I'm always going to be weakened because there's going to be golems almost always in Elder Lord Patrol. Excuse me, left side clover. So I need to cast SF right away. But there are Brups, so that's fun and dandy. I'm playing super risky, by the way. This spirit could erupt me right away. The sand you wouldn't have because I didn't have a condition on me. But I need to path all the way up into this point, and I need to basically bow the Lord, then cast my enchants to have the good timing on the fiends. So if I can bow him and then instantly cast my enchants, it's good timing. And also, Elgin can kill you because he has Flame Digital Taste or whatever. And I'm pretty sure that only happens if he spawns with a weapon. And he'll use it, and I've died to that. So here, I'm going to strafe left and right constantly. And what that does is that lets the souls not lose any speed at all. Because if you run a straight line, they're going to have like 33% speed boost or increased speed boost. But if you strafe constantly, then they'll stay above 33 instead of dropping down to 32, if that makes sense. And here, I had perfect timing here. Getting the hungers and the fiends on top of each other is like a godsend. Because this basically saved me an SF rotation, which is perfect because I lost like an SF rotation at 360. And also, I'm still hugging the walls, making sure my souls are not hugging the walls, but I am, so I can get my souls through the middle of the trenches. And as you can see, they break when I'm going up and down hills and that sort of thing. And here, I did not know if I was on 48 pace still or not, so I'm playing super risky. And there's a fiend on Derv Hill, and I narrowly avoided that. Here, the Monk Lord can kill me with Signet of Judgment, and if I was slow enough, then he would have killed me right then and there. And now, my SF timing is a little off. I wanted to have to recast it right around here, so my tendril timing would have been nicer, but sadly, it was not. So I have 36 souls. That's enough to do tendrils. Because there's only 6 total hungers that spawn from tendrils. There's 4 on the TK right side and 2 on the IU backside. So here I'm going to take the quest. I'm going to kill with 2 melee tendrils. I'm just like instantly, 1 tendril down. I make sure I get aggro. Next tendril is going down. My SF timing's bad, so here is where the seal comes into play. So I pop the seal, and then I start casting as soon as I'm on top of the tendrils. And I kill the fiends, run on top of them. It was a good spawn this time, so I kill them right away. All the fiends are dead. The melees are still on me. They'll always follow me, basically. And basically, as soon as I get to cast my enchants, I stand on top of the thing. I want to have my enchants casted before they spawn, like the instant they spawn. This is a good spawn as well. I got to cast Shroud like immediately afterwards. And here, this is where hungers can spawn. So, let's see. I always try to kill the hungers right away, because they deal about like 80 damage every second and a half. And here, SF timing, Shroud timing was perfect, so I wait. I just wait, make sure I regen some HP, and then I cast everything. That I cast Shroud, don't even bother with the staff, and I stand still with the hungers. because if I moved at all, I would have died to the hungers because the souls would have missed. And I also could have died just to the slashes here because I'm on survivor armor. And that was DoA done solo in 48 minutes. Yeah. This was a one-shot take. What is this, an hour, 5 minutes long? That's pretty long. Yeah, let me know what you guys think overall. Let's see. I can't really think of anything else I could have covered. Let's see. No, I think that's about it. I think the inside city part for right side, I think it has. I'm pretty sure. Let's see. I'm pretty sure the reason these two patrols over here were on top of each other was because of where I killed this last ball, but I still don't know for certain. Like, this ball was not that far up. Normally I'd have to pull it to like right here, but since I pulled it to right here, I guess some group wasn't triggered fully or something like that. I don't know, but a big part of that is if I can figure that part out, then a 47 is possible. And also, if I can not have this mishap at 360 again with the hungers. So yeah, if I can just get a good gloom, the same pace city, and a very clean 360 or veil overall, a 47 is possible. But if you guys have any questions about solo, feel free to PM me in game or post comments. But thank you guys for watching, and leave some feedback because this was a one-shot take and I probably missed a lot of stuff. But thanks for watching.